So last week we talked about faith and the faith formula. And the challenge last week was to just think about a time in your life when you believed that you exercised faith, when you knew what you wanted and felt so positive that you would receive it that you did. And I hope that you've found it, some time to reflect on your life and found an instance when you did feel like your faith was honored, and that I hope that you saw a connection between kind of just the confidence and happiness that you felt in that thing. So, just as a reminder, the faith formula then here that we've talked about the past couple weeks is to know what you desire, to be really clear on that, and then to feel joy in that desire and use that joy. That joy is the vehicle of faith. And I wanted to build on that this week by sharing a scripture in Alma chapter 32, verse 21. And it says, "And now as I have said concerning faith, faith is not to have a perfect knowledge of things. Therefore, if ye have faith, ye hope for things which are not seen, which are true." And it's this last part of the scripture that I really want to focus on, that if we have faith, we hope for things which are not seen, which are true. And if you think about that in light of what we've been talking about, that's exactly the formula that we've been talking about. That faith is this hope that we see something, we see in the future this thing that we hope for, and we just believe it so much, like we know that it's true, and we just feel that in our hearts, and that's faith. Faith is both a mental and an emotional thing. It's about the thoughts that we're thinking and the emotions that we're feeling. And if we want to grow and increase our faith, we have to tap into and really understand how our minds work and how our emotions work. We have to be in tune with those things. And so, kind of coming back then to this faith formula, knowing what we desire, feeling joy in that desire, well, that joy stems from cultivating our hope. And our hope is these desires, these beautiful desires, these things that we want, to be with our loved ones, to develop a stronger relationship with Jesus Christ, to develop our spiritual gifts, or even more temporal things like, hope for a comfortable home, or a better car, or a better job. I think God honors all of those hopes and desires. And so if we want to energize our faith, and if we find our faith has not yet been sufficient enough to bring something into our lives, what we need to do is harness the power of hope. Because remember, faith, hope, and charity work together. And we need to harness that power of hope to energize our faith. And the way we do that is by hoping for what we desire. So it's that evidence of things that are not seen but are true. So that's really what we want to build on this week is using hope to energize our faith. And so the way we do that is basically your challenge for this week. Think about something that you desire in your life. Earlier in this month, we talked about clarifying your desires, what you want for your life. So maybe one of those would be a great one to start with. And then every day this week, commit to just take a few moments to cultivate your hope and this desire. And then the idea is that the more we allow ourselves to really truly hope for the desire, that will help us to bring up the emotions that support the faith that we want to have, in order to, the faith that will allow us to receive this thing that we desire and hope for. So the way to do that is just close your eyes and visualize the day when you receive the thing you hope for. So, maybe the thing you hope for is you've been struggling to get pregnant and to have a child, and that's what you hope for. Visualize that day. Visualize the day when that baby is laid in your arms, and feel all of those emotions that you would feel. Use your senses to really create that day in your mind. So the spiritual creation part, where you're, how will the baby feel in your arms? What will you hear? How will the baby smell? What will you see? What will it look like? Use your 5 senses in your mind, in your visualization, to create that day and make it real enough that you start feeling those emotions of joy and utter happiness and contentment. And then the goal is to hold on to those emotions throughout the day. This is exactly what that scripture is talking about, that we're hoping for things which are not seen, which are true. This is the evidence of things that are not seen, that are true. It's this visualization, this spiritual creation, and using our whole soul to do that spiritual creation so that we feel those powerful emotions, and then striving to hold on to them throughout the day. So that's the challenge for this week, and next week we'll pick back up and add some more to our understanding about faith and hope and how they work together.